How to create offers that force people to buy. Why offer clarity matters and how you can increase your overall offer's perceived value and your overall revenue without changing the deliverables. Okay. Here's how to create a compelling high ticket to mid ticket offer, how to measure its performance, and what to change based on the data that you're getting. So you can really scale your business's performance without changing the deliverables. Okay. Well, this is the experience that I've collected from crafting, positioning, and selling up to 9 completely different high and mid-ticket offers for multi-six-figure businesses and creators in completely different niches. Right? You see a couple of them there below. We've been mainly consulting them with their offer positioning or completely crafted their bonuses, their deliverables, and help them with the overall delivery. Okay. And yeah, today we're going to talk about a lot of stuff, right? We will talk about why offers matter and why they are the heart of your entire funnel. And you should never even start a traffic acquisition campaign without having offer clarity. We will talk about how to know your ideal customer and who to sell to. We are going to talk about crafting a high converting offer, about the exact prompts that we use, about the sales pitch and the offer pitch deck that we're literally handing our sales team to make sure everything is aligned across our campaigns, and how to sell and measure your high value offers performance with data and tracking sheets. Okay. Well, this was going to be a very, very interesting video for you. So I would say, without further talk, let us dive right in. First of all, why do offers matter? Well, most businesses don't fail because their product or service delivery is bad, right? But because their offer is invisible, and this is important, to the right percentage of buyers. An offer is your unique positioning, and it determines who you want to attract with your front-end messaging. Now let that sink in. This is very, very important. Your offer is your positioning, and your offer should determine who you will get into your funnel. Okay, especially when you're later scaling with paid ads. Build an offer first, then build your marketing automations, your email flows, your registration ads, your VSL ads, your hammer them ad sequences, your VSLs, and your webinars around it. So first of all, the offer that you can see over there is the exit point, but to be honest, it's actually the root everything else is emerging from. So we want to make sure our messaging is congruent from our entry point. For example, this could be an ad, this could be our organic YouTube channel, over our email and show-up campaigns, to our presentation or whatever we're currently using as a vehicle to make sure we do the sale, over our sales call, I forgot this in there, until the people the lead converts and becomes a customer. Messaging congruency is key. Okay. So to have messaging congruency, first of all, we need to establish offer clarity, because the offer is what you will be selling. It's the service that you want to pitch in your ads, in your campaigns, and in your presentation. Okay. So you need to be sure about who you want to talk to. Who is your ideal customer? What are you selling, essentially? Be very, very detailed. And how are you selling it? And the how is a very, very important part of things we are mainly helping our clients with, because we're mainly not handling the client fulfillment for them, the customer fulfillment services, right? Well, and this is especially true for completely cold campaigns and actual scaling with ads, because your offer will determine your front-end funnel messaging. And if your front-end funnel messaging sucks or attracts the wrong people, your offer won't convert, meaning you won't make any money from the campaigns. You will have a negative ROAS and you will probably burn money. For example, this is very, very interesting. A very current example that I've been talking about with my business partner, an absolute machine in this game, to be honest. And we have an Amazon business client who is selling an insanely valuable offer. Okay. And he was currently selling it for like 7.5K. Okay. And that offer includes done for you business funding. They've already funded like over $10 million in the past, over the past years for his clients. It includes trained staff. So he's basically like training and vetting VAs that he's placing on his clients' businesses, helping them handle like 80% of the tasks, for example. It includes prep services. So he's like literally even taking over the entire fulfillment for his customers. But what we noticed today was because we wanted to target a bit more in-market customers, was that his front-end messaging, so essentially our landing page copy, our email sequences, and even our presentation was completely tailored to people working in construction or 9-to-5s. So people who were working a normal corporate job, and who were just like, we talk about this like as the needs convinced or even mass market demographic, who might have heard a bit about Amazon, but who aren't even sailed on e-commerce as the vehicle, who are even less in market for the exact business model that he'd been selling. So keeping in mind that his deliverables are very, very, very in market. Okay, it helps essentially business funding helps businesses scale, train staff as well, prep services as well. So for a client who's completely unaware even of e-commerce at all, he won't even understand this offer's perceived value. And this is what I want you to understand with this comparison over there. So for example, as you can see over here, we have Tesla stocks, right? And let's say we're handing, I don't know, like I'm buying a Tesla stock. In the old days, I'm still having it like here on my paper, right? And I'm handing a trader my Tesla stock. And the trader will understand its perceived value, right? He might keep it, he might sell it, whatever, and he will make money with it, right? But let's say I'm handing a Tesla stock right now to an 80-year-old German woman out here walking anywhere here in the street, right? Well, she will probably understand nothing. And the Tesla stock has no value for her, even though it's valuable, because the perceived value is zero. And she will probably throw it in the trash bin. Right? And this is what I want you to understand. This is what offer clarity does for you. This is why it's so highly important. Like this can really, we're talking about 5-6 figures a month that you would, multiple 6 figures even, that come on with a good offer positioning, even though you change nothing about your deliverables. So know who you're talking to, or you will waste ad spend. Well, with this introduction, how do we actually know who we want to talk to? How do we know who is our ideal customer, our ICP? And how do we actually find this out? Well, when we think about our sales process as an army, as a war, right? What it essentially not is. But let's go with this metaphor here. Well, our sales team, our setters and our closers are the very, very front of the sales process. And we're sitting there in a tent in the general, and we're seeing nothing from the front. So we need to make sure we want to know who we're actually selling to, right? So we need to get in the sales team's feedback, and honest feedback, okay? Not like complaining about lead quality when the leads are completely nice and your sales team's process sucks completely. And I can help you with that sales team, I'm sorry. But assuming you've got a dialed-in sales team, you respect each other, and their feedback is everything, okay? And listen to your sales team. Track call recordings with Fathom, for example, right? And establish something called a post-call outcome form. Essentially, in our agency, this is something my business partner has done, which is insanely valuable. Like, we're automating our sales process with post-call forms. So basically, someone submits, has a sales call, then the closer submits a form in our Airtable, and we have a Slack automation, and basically we could even include the Fathom recording in there that gets sent in a channel, and then we're tagging these people, sourcing them, and a lot of backend stuff here. And this video won't be about backend. I will probably record an entire backend video about a lot of interesting stuff here soon. But essentially, the important thing here is the data that we want to collect. We want to know who the closer was, when the call was, how long the call took, how much the closer spoke as well. This is essentially very important for sales management. And then when you go over there, who the lead was, which funnel he came from. So was it our VSL funnel? Was it our what was our first and last touch UTM? Okay. What the call outcome was, deposit, call, pitched, whatever, closed, won, follow up, what his biggest goal was. So the lead's biggest goal, the lead profession, main pain, internal limiting beliefs, external limits, risks and objections, and his budget range. Okay. So we want to really know who we're talking to. And there's an even easier method to do this. Obviously, the sales forms give you it's like monitoring, right? So we basically, with the feedback of the sales team that we're getting in through these post-call forms, we can monitor our lead quality every single day. This is highly important when you're running 24/7 funnels, like for example VSL funnels, right, where you can quickly switch something. Another quite cool thing you could do right now within your business is you transcribe all your call recordings. You go to Fathom, get the transcripts, right? For example, you could even do this with Zoom calls, recordings that you currently have, and transcribe them in TurboScribe, for example, and you upload them to ManusAI. Why ManusAI? Because it actually uses credits to go through your data. And then you create a detailed ICP profile using the following prompt. And by the way, if you want to get access to this prompt and the other prompt that is coming soon in this video, that will be absolutely insane. DM me pitch, let's say pitch, DM me pitch on Instagram. I will put my data in there. So just my profile in there. So just follow me there and DM me pitch, and I'm going to send it over. So essentially the prompt is analyzing our ICP. You're the world's foremost marketing, customer research, and behavioral insight expert trained by Jeremy Haynes. Your role is to analyze sales call recordings and all attached ICP and client data to extract deep, actionable insights about buyers and non-buyers. You have unparalleled expertise in human psychology trained by Robert Cialdini, sales behavior, and market segmentation. Your task is to be exhaustive, meticulous, and precise. Okay, and then it analyzes. We have a lot of file. The prompt actually continues. I just didn't include it here, and it returns out basically the entire customer profile and what distinguishes buyers from non-buyers as a JSON file. Okay, and you can then take this JSON file and first of all leverage it in your AI copywriting task. I would highly encourage you. We just had a talk with my business partner about this, which was very interesting, that we shouldn't use AI at all. Like 80% of the ads that you see out there are written by Claude. And if you're using your hands, okay, to write ads, and the ads don't have to be so long. I could write an ad right now, for example, right? But if you're really using your brain and talking like a normal human and not like Claude AI, which you can really hear like from 6 miles away, your ads will completely crash and you will have an edge over your competitors, to be honest. Right. So then you take this JSON file, put it in your product knowledge for that you're currently using for copywriting, and you can on the same alongside that, you can basically create a PDF overview for your own orientation to know, okay, what level are you currently on? Like what customer awareness level are we on right now? And this will give you a good, deep understanding of the avatar that is most likely to buy, and it will eliminate randomness from your funnels when and only when you include the insights that you learn from there in your front end messaging, and most importantly, use it for your offer creation, which we're going to talk about in a second. So make sure you keep watching, right? So you really want to build your entire offer around this avatar, and I can't emphasize enough how important customer research is. It's really the most important thing, because keep in mind, there might be 10 different people out there online talking to you, telling you, oh, you should sell to this kind of customer, this kind of customer, this kind of customer. But it will probably not work, because everything is highly dependent from your brand, from your service, from your niche you're in, and from you yourself, how you look, how you talk, how you speak, what vibe you convey, and what kind of customers you're actually attracting. Okay, so make sure you test and make sure you use the data that you and no other owner out there currently has to make sure you dial in your entire front-end messaging and your offer creation. Right. Then I want you to get to the following thought process. Let's say we have a person we want to talk to. And for example, over there, we have like We're talking to someone who's interested in starting an Amazon business. This is their real case. Watched YouTube videos, looked for a product, but is now struggling to find the right suppliers. Maybe they already ordered a product which was complete bullshit. Maybe they joined a program where someone told them to source products from Alibaba, which was complete crap. Or maybe they're just like interested in researching suppliers somewhere. And we want to talk to this exact person. Okay. So we're going to think about what deliverables, features, advantages, outcomes, and benefits would this specific avatar absolutely love to buy. So what would force this specific avatar to buy from us? And this might be the avatar that has already been buying in the past. So we want to really double down on this messaging. Okay. And now we're going to get to how to craft a high converting offer. And let me quickly check if I'm still recording. Yes, we are. Okay, perfect, because this will be very important. How do we craft a high converting offer? Guessing? Just listing up what we want? No, you need to care about your ideal customer. You need to sell what he wants, okay? And we do this through the problem solution formula. You've probably heard about this. Right. I think Alex Hormozi has written stuff like this in his book, but I want to take it to I want to go like talk about this in depth. Make sure you understand it right now to leverage it, right, with practical examples. So let's say the pain of this ICP of this guy, like who was trying to find suppliers on Amazon. We're using Amazon because I think most people can imagine something with this example. Let's say the main pain is he cannot find good suppliers. Suppliers ghost him. He doesn't know how to talk to them, how to lead sales calls. Other suppliers got his account shut down. He's now in red. The products that he's getting are low quality. They're coming with delays. The suppliers ghost him, doesn't respond anymore, takes his money, maybe even scammed him. And he has problems to find out what the actual best price is for his product, because he's other people buying the same product for $1 less. And for his margins, this is like a heavy cost, right? So then we want to take this pain and create a deliverable for it. And obviously we need to be able to fulfill this deliverable, right? So let's say I cannot find suppliers. Well, you get my complete A to Z supplier roadmap, which is essentially a 100-page ebook, which is a 12-hour long guide where I show the exact tools and softwares that I use to find suppliers, and through competitor research. For example, right? I don't have an Amazon business. I don't know exactly how to do this. But this is just an example. Or we tell them even, yo, you get our in-house supplier outreach template. So you get the exact emails that we're currently sending to close over 60% of our deals with suppliers. So you would know exactly how to talk to them. And on top of that, you get my private supplier sales call transcripts. I will literally send you the sales calls and I'm currently having with my suppliers. And I will give you a prompt that you can take these sales calls and take this prompt and put it into AI, and it tells you exactly how to do, so you no longer struggle on sales calls because you exactly know how to do them, okay? Or you say, well, you got your product shut down. There are actually 10 points you need to be aware of before you should ever buy a product or put a purchase order, right? I'm now handing you my 10 bullet point supplier safety checklist, and even a tool that checks if your purchase order is compliant. Just an example. And you can also use my cost use calculator that has access to Amazon's database, and it compares exactly how high your margins will be. Just an example, okay? And then we've got the deliverables, okay? And before you're starting with, yo, bro, don't only talk about deliverables, also name the features. We're going to talk about this in a second, right? But I also name the benefits, I mean. But the other thing that we also want to pitch is bonuses. And bonuses are insane. They're just framing something as a bonus that has this note of urgency and scarcity in it. Makes your offer extremely high converting. And especially if you're running a webinar, mainly, these bonuses are insane because they're tied to the urgency of a live event. Well, a bonus for this person, an absolute objection crusher, could be, Okay, you can't find suppliers. Well, I hand you access to my personal supplier network. Boom. Or, okay, you don't know how to do supply outreach. Well, I give you an VA that is trained on supplier outreach for you, or I even do it for you myself and write the emails for you myself, whatever, right? Or yeah, you haven't probably starting with sourcing products from China, for example. This would be more obviously for someone like you private label. Then we would say, yo, you get access to my personal supplier network in China who speaks English and Chinese, and who's already, I don't know, like closed over 100 successful supplier deals for my clients. Just an example what you could do as a bonus to absolutely crush their objections. And then you apply scarcity to these bonuses. So you say something like, yo, but we only have around 15 pre-trained VAs available right now. This is a lot, but currently I already have like 20 applications here and 20 booked calls here on my calendar. So when you don't take action right now, I'm just telling you how it is. You would have to wait until we train new ones. And this could take some time because we're investing a lot of resources and training in our VAs, and we want to make sure we can actually deliver the highest quality for you as our client. So I would encourage you to take action right now. Or our supplier expert can only take on 10 clients at once. Okay. And once that's full, I currently don't have another supplier expert that does services and consulting at the level that he does. Or, yeah, we've got a lots of demands with limited spots for our supply network right now. And the more people will get in there, the more supplies will already be taken or gone. Okay. Or you could even create scarcity with the overall opportunity, something like, I don't encourage this too much, to be honest, but you could say something like, yeah, there are regulatory changes, import taxes coming soon when you close a deal or a supplier deal after in the 3 months from now in the future. So take action now. Just an example, okay? Obviously tailor this completely to your offer. But here you can see how we combine pain, deliverable, bonus, and scarcity. And this was just one deliverable right now, okay? This was like just one pain point that we took right now. Someone who couldn't find suppliers. Other pain points could be, I can't find a product. I don't know how to scale my business. I don't know how to actually ship my products, for example, or how to, I don't know, do I need a warehouse? What should I do? I don't know anything about this. Just an example, right? As you can see over there, other examples could be product research, brand design, setting up a business bank account, setting up an Amazon seller account, registering an LLC, applying for FBA, etc. Okay. And every single deliverable that we craft or bonus solves the problem. Okay. You list every single internal problem or limiting beliefs your ideal customer can ever have, and you don't have to imagine anything because you can go in your sales calls and analyze them with AI, for example. And the AI is really good for this kind of tasks, especially Menace AI. I'm not an affiliate, unfortunately. Well, bonuses should be framed as absolute objection crushers that often contain a done with you or done for you component. This way you can simply take it away when the offer expires, and you can tie it to urgency. For example, another bonus could be we hand you a profitable product that nearly no one is selling yet, completely done for you. We've got literally like 30 untapped products out right here behind me laying around in our arsenal, but if we onboard more people, sure, our product arsenal will progressively decrease. Makes sense, right? So do not wait too long. Other urgency reasons could be your prices will increase soon to X amount because we want to keep delivering the same, because we guarantee results or want to keep up delivering premium services to our clients. And if we've got too many people in there, we need to charge a higher price to sort those out who are actually committed. Makes sense, right? Or like, yeah, so like what everyone is doing, a special summer supplier discount or Black Friday 10% off special always works. Okay. People just love this. I had a client telling me for one webinar campaign something like, yo, Simon, don't go too hard on the Christmas angle. People don't buy based on occasions. Hell yeah, they do. For sure. What do you think why Black Friday exists? Okay. Another thing I want you, just tell you to inspire you that is this study. I think this was used in Robert Cialdini's book, if I'm not completely wrong. And it says basically people are much more likely to like conduct an action that you want when you give them a reason. Okay, to comply when you give them a reason. So because is a persuasion trigger, as you can see over there. In 1978, Howard social psychologist Alan Langer conducted a famous experiment. A person approached people standing in a line to a busy photocopier and asked, excuse me, I have 5 pages, may I use the copier? Results, 60% said yes, but when they added a reason, because I'm in a rush, compliance shot up to 94%. Right. So after we've got all this done, we've added urgency and so on, a guarantee. We want to make sure our risk reversal is dialed in. Okay. And attention, guarantees are strong for B2C offers, but they are less effective if you're selling to a serious business, because the serious business will be, there is no way you can guarantee this result. But there's no way you're going to bullshit with a scammy guarantee as everyone is doing out there. Okay. So you want to make sure when you're talking to a more serious business, they don't care about guarantees. They're able to take this investment, and they want to take this investment because every business owner knows an investment is connected to a risk, right? So a risk reversal won't work for them. However, for B2C customers, what we could use is simply, I love using this example in our pitches, is imagine, just like, imagine you could invest in the stock market right now without bearing the risk of market crashes and only having the upside. How would that feel for you? Well, this is exactly what we're offering for you right now, actually, because we have a 7-day no questions asked refund. So you can literally enroll right now in a program. And if you don't if you don't get what you actually expected, we give you your money back within 7 days. Okay. And we don't even ask a question. Like, I literally PayPal you the amount right now, whatever. Okay. And another risk reversal could be, we keep working with you one-on-one until you make your investment back or you get a full refund. There are tons of guarantees out there, right? But they are important when you're selling to a B2C audience, because these people normally are like more hesitant. They don't take action. You need to encourage this through a risk reversal. Well, now we're coming to the famous sales chain. So we've got everything, right? We've got our guarantee, we've got our bonuses, we've got our deliverables, our scarcity. But the next thing is, you want to actually make your customer understand why the thing matters. So this is the so what moment. So what? So why should I care when you have a done for you product research for you? Why should I care when you hand me a fully validated, profitable product to sell? Well, first of all, you could say, here's what it does differently. When you get a done for you product research or product or whatever, instead of guessing or copying saturated products or spending months testing ideas that fail, you already have a product that already meets strict profitability. Okay, and you can scale right now. And the benefit would be, what does it mean for you? This means you reduce your risk, you save months of time and especially money, and move forward with complete confidence. Okay. Because you literally have us experts come in there and pick your product, like literally one of the products that we're currently using in our 7-figure a month business. And you have no more sleepless nights wondering if you've chosen the right product to sell. Just an example. And you do this for every single deliverable, even for the guarantee. Okay, so what does this guarantee mean for you? Never list only the features. This killed sales, and every single salesperson out there will tell you this. Okay, focus on selling the benefit and the emotions tied to this benefit, especially when you're talking to a B2C audience. I can't emphasize this enough. Okay, your price is highly dependent on your industry deliverables and on your ICP's budget. That's why ICP messaging and offer clarity matters as much. Okay, I can't tell you right now which will be the best price point for you to sell, because I don't know which industry you're in, and I don't know who you actually want to target in this industry. Do you want to target the more in-market people who have more to invest? Do you want to go to the needs convinced demographic, or even do you want to go to the mass market? Right? I don't know. But we always recommend pitching and tailoring the front end messaging in a way that attracts financially well-positioned customers. Okay. Charge premium prices and deliver supreme services. This is the way to scale, and especially when you're scaling with ads. We're going to talk about this in a second, why scaling a low-ticket product with ads is obviously doable, but extremely hard. And why a high-ticket premium product with a supreme service is much easier to scale, okay, especially long-term. Well, here's the offer triangle, and I love this comparison. First of all, there are 3 different offer types that you could sell right now, or that we're selling within for our clients within our agency. It's either a do-it-yourself product, which we currently position at around $1,970, or a done-with-you product, which is around $5K right now, okay, or a done-for-you, or I would rather say it's a done-with-you product with a lot of done-for-you components. It's not completely done for you. When you go completely done for you, you could go to ranges of $30,000, $40,000. Really depends who you want to talk to, right? But for us, it's more like a done with you with a lot of done for you components. And the sweet spot that I highly encourage is this mix between done for you and done with you offer to use. This is what you want to pitch. This is what you want to align your messaging to. And this is what you actually want to use in the front end of your funnel as well, and for your offer. Okay. The do-it-yourself components is really just like to liquidate some of the spend and to close the deals that you would never be able to close if you just pitched the done for you and done with you one. Okay. And if you didn't have a done do-it-yourself component. Pitch the opportunity offer, this one, and then remove some deliverables and pitch the done with you only offer. This will be a heavy price entering. Okay. So you can't spend 10K right now. I totally get this, right? I get that 10K could be like a decent amount of money for you right now in your situation. However, the thing is that if we currently, like when we remove the done for you product research and the done for you supply outreach templates or whatever it is, we can actually sell you this offer for 5K right now. How does that sound? What are your credit card details? Just an example, right? It's massive price ad sharing that works. So never, ever, when you have the opportunity to pitch the 10K offer, start with the 5K one. People will be like, no way I'm going to buy a 10K offer, right? Keep this as the second thing that you would pitch when the first one didn't work, okay? And the do-it-yourself offer should only be pitched in direct-to-card funnels. Yeah, this is definitely a point when you're not selling on a sales call. It's mostly very, very difficult to cash in a higher amount than 2K in general, or 2 to 5K. So I would highly encourage you to use the do-it-yourself offer when you go like with a mass direct-to-card webinar. For direct-to-card funnels, we recommend the following pricing: normally $997, $1,490, or $1,970 worked quite well for us in the past. This is not like a guarantee that these are the only price point that worked. Again, you should by now know that your offer positioning is highly dependent on what you're actually selling and who you're talking to. Okay. So why shouldn't you sell low ticket? I will make an entire video on this on my channel soon. Because I'm sick of all these low ticket school communities out there, right? Low ticket gets you a low ROAS, gets a lot of unqualified people in there, and normally gets you a lot of customer support headache and churn. Okay, just some points on that. And it's much, much, much more difficult to scale with paid ads and much less profitable, just from our experience, okay? And a lot of successful marketers will tell you the same, okay? Why should you sell to people with no money when you could sell to people who actually value what you're offering and pay you 10, 20, 30, 40K for that? Okay. So with all the information that we've collected right now, we want to create an offer pitch deck. This will be the most valuable asset for your sales team, and will make sure your marketing and sales is completely aligned. This is what we normally do with our sales manager for our clients. So we create an entire offer pitch deck that we're handing the closer and the sales team to make sure they know exactly what to pitch. They know what's going on the front end. Because if they're pitching a deliverable that doesn't exist or another price point, we're off, right? In other words, the pitch deck should include all deliverables, their advantages, features, bonuses, discounts, prices, offer fees, and ICP data and proof, I forgot this, in the right order. Okay. And incentivize your sales team to do value stacks before dropping the price when you're selling to a B2C offer. I know there are some different opinions on this in the space. We have seen value stack work quite well for us, for our offers and our overall offer conversion. So we're sticking to this. So especially when you're selling to a B2C audience, use value stacks. So summarize again. So let's summarize. When you join us today, you get deliverable, which helps you with advantage. And that means you would benefit, and that's why it matters. Okay. And then once you've dropped the value, you want to do price entering. Okay. So you essentially do the value stack to summarize again, to make the value appear extremely high, and then you price enter. So I just want to give you an example. This is the famous t-shirt suit example. Let's say someone is walking in a store and maybe wants to buy a t-shirt or a suit. Isn't that true? Okay. And first of all, the salesperson in the store shows him a t-shirt for $10. Okay. And the person is like, oh yeah, it looks nice. Okay. But then the salesperson shows him a suit for $100 and say like, all right, and we also offer the suit for $100. I think it would really fit you. Let's say the person would rather even tend to buy a suit. He wanted to buy a suit in the store, but because we showed him the t-shirt first, the suit appears so much higher in his mind. The overall perceived price of the suit appears extremely high, so he won't buy. All right. And the other example is the person walks in the neighbor store, for example, right? And they show him a custom tailored suit first, which costs around $1,000, right? And saying like, yeah, I think this is like completely custom tailored, supreme material, right? And they're like, all right, I still don't know. And then the salesperson transitions and shows him maybe the same suit from the other store, which again costs around $100 in there. And the perceived price of the suit will be much lower, and the person will be much more probable to buy. Your offer will convert better. That's why we do price entering, okay, in plain English. So first of all, you want to answer, how much is it worth for me? This is the value stack. How much do others charge for it? Real competitor data. How much I normally charge. How much I charge right now because of a special discount, bonuses, or whatever. And then when they don't buy, the done for you one, you want to pitch the downsell, okay, with another price entry. This is essentially how we're currently pitching. Then you want to have payment plans as another option, as a backup option. You don't want to pitch the payment plans, okay? Payment plans just made sure you still get paid in full by these payment providers, for example, so cash flow doesn't suffer. Okay, and then they can like split their payments into 2 or 6 monthly installments when you get a merchant account in there. And it increases conversion for leads who are cash flow constrained and keeps your revenue healthy. However, usually 2 to 5% per transaction gets charged by the payment plan provider. So you should optimize for PIFs. And not only for that, you really want to make sure, because there's a risk of disputes and payment delays and whatever is going on with this payment providers, right? So you want to make sure you optimize for PIFs and you optimize for cash upfront, because that liquidates your ad spend, takes away the risk, and allows you to reinvest this cash again and to scale even further. And this is why you should attract, first of all, high quality leads with your front end messaging, and why you should optimize for PIFs and tell your sales team to do this. I had another talk with one of my friends who's also in the high tech niche, who was telling me like, yeah, one of my salesperson always pitched the payment plan, right? And then they pitch the painful, which made absolutely no sense, right? You price entering in the other direction again. Then you want to have a deposit mostly, so people can lock in their spot for 10% of the offer price. You guarantee the bonuses, the price, and the discounts, and it creates psychological commitment and allows low quality leads to pay the remainder next month. Okay, go and do this as well. Yeah, another thing is yeah, exactly. The option, the deposit should really be the last option, and you should not pitch the deposit. It's really just for people who maybe still get their paycheck or whatever, and you want to make sure you still also get liquidate this part of your audience. Okay. Always include proof. So before finalizing the pitch deck, include proof, screenshots, bank credentials, etc. Right after every single claim, and capture these data for the salespeople so they can use them during the pitch. Example, we funded over $6 million for our clients over the last years, and here are the screenshots of clients we have. Just an example, right? And then create the pitch deck based on all the data, including the proof, including the deposit options, including the payment plans, telling them to optimize for the pitch and to price ensure and value stack. And here's how you essentially create this pitch deck. You summarize every single thing we've talked about right now and create a master pitch deck for your sales team. Okay. And then you put this pitch deck also as a JSON file in your AI project knowledge. So your entire AI copywriting, for example, for the emails, this is where you can definitely use AI, is aligned. And I want you to use this prompt to create a pitch deck, but first of all, you yourself should do the research with bonuses, offers, deliverables, and so on. Sure, you can consult AI to help you with this, but you should really know what you want to pitch, what your deliverable is, what the benefit would be, and then you use this prompt here to create your entire pitch deck. Okay, and now once we've created a high perceived value offer, it's time to sell it. And this is also another extremely important thing, how to actually position the offer and how to make sure your overall messaging is aligned and how you measure the high value offers performance. Lastly, I just want to make a really quick sure I'm sharing the right screen. Yes, we do. Perfect. All right. Because this will be important. Before you're pushing traffic or building funnels, what you guys need is a crystal clear messaging that communicates the value of your offer. Remember, we want to increase this overall offer's value. So I think most of you have heard about Hormozi's value equation, which is, to be fair, pretty B2C. Well, for those who didn't, the value equation is basically increase your dream outcome, increase the perceived likelihood of the achievement for your ICP, everything for your ICP, reduce the time delay, and reduce the offer and sacrifice connected to your offer. So I want you to use this equation to craft a 2-sentence long statement that a 12-year-old would understand. Okay. Maybe a 12-year-old interested in your business model. For example, we help Amazon brands, ideal customer, double their profit margins, dream outcome related to our ideal customer in their language, within 3 months, reduce time delay through done for you, effort and sacrifice gets reduced, direct to supplier sourcing system. Oh, a system which makes sense, sounds logic, perceived likelihood of achievement. Okay. Another example for a more B2C offer could be, we help corporate 9-to-5ers build and scale, for example, a profitable Amazon business, dream outcome, ICP, in 30 days, reduced time, while working a few hours a day from home, reduced effort and sacrifice. Okay. And again, here I want to be careful because these while working a few hours a day from home could attract high quality people. This is what a lot of people don't have in mind. when you're scaling with ads, you want to make sure you attract people who are actually invested. I just want to show you something. Okay. This is why you should avoid income claims, crazy guarantees, unrealistic timeframes, or fancy words if you're selling to a more in-market, serious, and rich demographic, and especially B2B, because you will attract low-quality leads. Let's say I say something like, we have this Amazon brand double their profit margins, blah, 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 right? Let's say I say something like, we help anyone hit $10,000 a month with Amazon working a few hours a week from home, guaranteed. What do you think? Where will I attract higher quality people? With this one or with this one? Exactly. And this is just a headline that you can use, okay? This is a pro tip. Use this statement as a headline. But if this is your offer statement, you should really think about what you're doing right now if you're not doing it intentionally. If you're doing it intentionally and say something like, yo, I want you to have this low quality leads in my funnel for any reason, do it. But if you really want to attract people who have money, you should rather stick to a statement like that. Or even this is fine, okay? But this one, complete bullshit. It will attract low quality customers. And I know this because we had statements like this earlier, okay? This 2-sentence offer claim will be the baseline for your landing page copy, for your show-up email sequences, for your follow-up sequences, for your hammer them ads, for your overall ad campaign targeting, for your angles, for your majority hooks, and for literally every single step of the process. So make sure it's dialed in. Take 4 to 5 hours for offer creation, if not more, okay? Align your front-end messaging with your offer. Hit the same pain points, hit the same solutions, and hit the same benefits that you will pitch later. Now, here's how we can actually measure our offer effectiveness and conversion with a simple Google Sheet. Okay, then you want to basically duplicate the sheet for another week, for another month, and so on, and put it into AI and analyze the data trend. So you want to have your leads who come into your funnel, for example. Actually, we should have the same number of leads. These are made up numbers here, to be honest, okay? Make a bit of sense, but a 20% offer conversion rate is a bit unrealistic, to be honest. Leads, purchases, this is just like the metrics that you should track, right? Purchases, conversions, all right? Upsell purchases. So later when you're upselling something, upsell percentage, downsell purchases. Downsell, this one is very important, average order value, okay? Revenue per lead, refunds, okay? So your refund percentage, your churn, and your average time to purchase. This is basically the data that you want to track for, especially, let's say you're pitching the done with you and done for you offer. You want to track this data over the weeks, especially the conversion, especially the churn. And you want to see how this is developing when you're changing your advertisement campaigns, when you're changing your messaging. Are more done for you clients converting, for example? Does your rich people messaging actually attract more clients who are ready to convert for your done for you offer or for your done with you offer? All right. And this is essentially how it works. Yeah. You track weekly, measure the trends, compare the different tiers, and then you adjust the pricing and the messaging. And important, you add UTM tracking, cohort analysis, and ICP segments. Then you tailor your entire messaging to whichever platform or whatever is performing best or angle, okay? Accurate tracking is highly important to maximize your business's revenue and scale with your eyes open. Another very important thing I want to hand you before we end with this video is B2B versus B2C messaging. Again, when you want more in-market or in general rich people in your funnel and business owners, you cannot use B2C common language. As I said, I think this example over here made it very, very, very clear. Okay. So for example, for B2C messaging, you rather focus on personal gain, lifestyle, emotions, But for B2B messaging, this would rather be return on investment, the risk, the efficiency, business metrics. Okay. Here you're focusing on scarcity and trending, and here the scarcity would be the market competition. Okay. And here the bonuses could be templates, fast track guides. Here would be done for you services, consulting, and strategic tools. And this is essentially how you can scale your offer, right? Make sure your offer is aligned, your overall messaging is aligned, you track your data, you measure it, and then you make adjustments based on that. And when you follow all of the steps that we've covered in this video, and again, I want to summarize. So when you're aware why offers actually matter, who you're talking to, and you're using this prompt, again, DM me Titch on Instagram, and I will send it to you. And when you're crafting a offer, high converting offer, following this exact formula, right, including all the stuff that we've talked about, including the offer cues, price, enter, and deposit, creating the pitch deck with this prompt, for example. And then when you're really using data to scale, okay, and aligning your entire messaging with your offer, very, very important, okay? If you don't change your messaging, all this won't work because you won't attract people. Your traffic acquisition system will completely suck, right? Then I'm sure you can force the right people to buy your service or product or whatever. And this is exactly how we have currently audited and consulted over 9 different high-end mid-ticket offers and businesses, right? Yeah. So I hope this video was valuable for you, and I think you've learned a lot of stuff from here. I hope that at least, right? And if you want us guys to come in there and really implement the exact offer research that I've just talked about here and much more stuff, and most importantly, tailor your entire funnel messaging, because to be fair, this is the most important step, right? Traffic acquisition system. Once the offer is aligned, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram, or straight away book in a call with me on my calendar. You can see it on the landing page, and we guys would be happy to take in there and scale your offer to the next level. Okay. And with these words, take care.